Hello. So, this is a week one update for what's gone on with my plan. The short version of this video is that the attempt to use the editing process to essentially force my brain to look at how I'm moving analytically has worked, and it has given me some good examples to set experiments around. Largely, it seems to be that when I have any sort of distraction that makes me aware of my body, I immediately shut down and unable to move. So I've set some experiments up that I intend to do in the coming weeks. The part of uploading the video hasn't worked as well. They're all sat in an unlisted category, but that doesn't seem to be able to spur me into actually editing and going after videos with any sort of set routine. It sort of sits there for a week and I ignored it. So I'm going to have to release them publicly to try and make it into a this video will come out once a week thing to jog my brain into functioning. That's the short version. The long version is basically going to be me waffling on about what exactly I've seen. Um, as I said, the effect seems to be largely when I'm aware of my body. So, for instance, I first noticed what was going on when I had a message on my phone in the middle of moving, and suddenly I was suddenly aware of what was going on around me, and I stopped moving, and I wasn't able to move for about 10, 15 minutes until I was able to sort of desensitize myself from the world again, I guess. So I've set up a few experiments, and the first of which is I've recorded the same sequence with headphones on as well as the VR headset, and then a second sequence without the headphones, and I've set them up as examples against each other to see what is going on. Um, so I've got a short set of clips here that will show you what's happening. The first example is uh, a song on Beat Saber, and in it you can see I'm still moving to some extent with the speakers on, and this is just to show you the difference between how much I'm moving without the speakers and with the speakers. Um, so this is example one. Okay, so that was example one. And as you can see, the headphones, there was a much broader range of movement than the speakers. I was still moving to some extent. Um, with example two, what you're going to see is what's happened after I've become aware of my surroundings again. And it's not a spatial awareness thing. It's not I'm worried about bumping into anything. It's simply that whatever part of my brain mentally switches off or becomes desensitized to the world, the moment that it's like a state of mind, and the moment that's disjointed, I just immediately become rigid again. So my body, my arms, I can't move them, my legs, I can't move. So what you'll see on the next one is on the headphones, I'm moving around a lot. On the speakers, I'm virtually static. So this is example two. Okay, so as you can see, the speakers, I was a lot more static there and able to move, and yet when I've got headphones on, I'm able to move basically in the full range of my play space without even realizing it, with a lot more vigor and energy than without the headphones. So this final example is switching games to Pistol Whip, and this is a good demonstration of the moment where my brain sort of kicks in and I become aware of the surroundings. In this case, there isn't anything to distract me. It's literally just the moment I start moving, it becomes too much movement and I have to stop. Um, so again, this is speakers versus wearing headphones. So as you can see, the moment that sensory thing kicked in, I stopped moving on the speakers version straight away, and I couldn't get back into that rhythm. I don't quite know why it's worse on Pistol Whip than it's Beat Saber. The only sort of theory I have at the moment is that it requires me to move around a lot more and it's a lot more freely, whereas Beat Saber seems to be more me standing static and not moving much, but just it's more in the arms, whereas Pistol Whip I seem to be moving more with the legs and the feet. And as you can see, I still move my hands a bit because I'm talking, so I'm thinking maybe that's what's causing it. I'm not sure. So the second experiment after these ones and a few more of these that it sort of made me want to do is I want to see what it's like moving without the VR headset and just with the headphones. I'm not quite sure how to work that one out at the moment. The logistics are escaping me. I'm either going to have to stack the headset on somewhere behind me and then work out a screen in front of me, but then I don't want to have to drag my monitor across there and worry that it's going to fall over. I don't. It's like the logistics of watching what's happening. The alternative is to adjust my VR play space around, which is the easier solution, but also it's tedious and painful, even if I just make backup copy and paste jobs. My current theory is that I'll just set up a tablet with Steam Link or something and do that. I don't know. It depends on how much being able to see only a small amount of screen changes things. I'll have to sit down and work that one out, but that's the next step after a few more of these experiments here. That leads into the next point, which was the plan was uploading these videos onto unlisted YouTube videos so no one could actually see them because I don't really want to make them public. It's not a thing that I'm particularly doing for. I don't desire to be a YouTuber or anything like that, but what I found is when I just upload them publicly, I still treat it like it's just a video on my hard drive, so I'm not getting that added effect of pushing me into keeping up with these. And what I find with these projects is I come up with a great way to test my mind and it sort of slips by the wayside. I become overwhelmed by the scale of it, so I need that mental push to make videos. If it's a weekly video going out, then I have to do one each week. A good example is I notice when I was doing putting with golf that certain color putter grips I responded to and putted better than other ones. I would get less dizzy spells. I'd feel ill. There's always been a thing with color with my brain when certain colors make me dizzy and unstable. But putting seems to be a coherent way to test this effect because essentially you're keeping all the conditions the same, you're just changing the colors in your view space. So I spent most of this year doing variations of an experiment to try and work out the best way to do a test to do this, and I came up with a great way to do it, but now I need raw numbers. So I'm thinking I need around a few thousand putts for each color. I'm thinking of 3 different colors. Every sort of brief test I did suggests there is something here, but is there actually something there, or is it just enough to make me think that way. Am I just seeing what I want to see? I don't know, and that's why I need lots of numbers. But as with any big thing, that push sort of got dislodged by events in real life. So I need to get back into that, and that's what I'm trying to avoid by making these public videos now, which is the plan. I'm going to basically take all of the example videos I did and set them on a schedule to release one a week. I think with this video here, I'll probably release it alongside the plan so people can see what's going on. I'm not sure yet. The idea being that it will force me at some point to catch up when I'm running out of one a week spaces and do more of these tests, because I want to get to understand what's going on and why it's happening. It won't actually change anything in my life, but I like knowing why my brain works in certain ways. And the same with the potting. I plan to get back on that because it would be nice to say, look, here is I am putting better with certain colours consistently and I can prove it, or I can say, okay, I can't prove it. I'm just imagining it. I need to go back to square one. Either way, it'd be nice to know. So the plan is basically to upload example videos like that, not that particular one because that's just cut together bits, but I've got the full comparison between two. So I plan to release those along with just the successful runs because editing together the successful runs is what's allowing me to observe these things that I want to test in the first place. So that's basically my plan. I still want to do some movement tests in VR chat. I still haven't quite worked out what I want to do with that. But that's basically where I am, unless I've forgotten anything to add to this video. So yeah, that's more or less where my experiments have got to. And that's basically the end of the video. I never know how to outro these things, and I have no interest in really working out. So goodbye.